Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have another tier list coming your way. Today is the LCS Junglers 2021 tier list, a ranking and my opinions on every single jungler that we expect to be starting in the 2021 season. I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on all of them, ranking them out for you, but I want to hear from you guys as well. Definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know what your tier list is. Let me know what you're thinking about all these junglers for the upcoming season. Let me know what I got right, what I got wrong, all that good stuff. But don't be a dickhead. Don't be an asshole to me or anybody else in the comments. But your opinion is welcome. It is appreciated. And I would love to hear it. But before we get into this real quick, I just want to mention, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. It's fast, it's free, it's easy. Helps you guys stay up to date on all my latest content. It helps me out a ton as well. Really, I'm trying to hit 5K subs before the end of the year. That would be awesome. I would appreciate it a ton. So, do your part. Help me out. With that being said, here we go. 2021 LCS Junglers. I am Germ's YouTube tier list. Here we go. First up, Cloud9 jungler Blabber. He's coming off a crazy up and down year. Obviously the spring split MVP, all LCS first team, looked like one of the best players in the entire league, looked like really the future of North American players, like not only North American junglers, but really one of the best new hyped up and coming talents in North America. And he started out the summer split really nice as well, but things for him and all of Cloud9 really started to taper off towards the end of the summer split, really the middle to the end of summer split. And obviously they faltered in the playoffs. They didn't even make it to Worlds, which is crazy after getting first in the spring split and looking so dominant. Really one of the most epic collapses in all, like in the LCS all time. Just absolutely crazy. But with that being said, even though Blabber didn't look as amazing towards the end of the year, he still looked pretty good. He's obviously coming in to 2021 super hyped up. He's still a young, improving talent still. He still has a lot to learn about competitive and being a professional and all that stuff, but he's doing so good. He's a beast. He's going to learn to continue to grow. I don't think he's going to be one of these guys that just has a big year and then falls off. I think he is a superstar that is here to stay. Especially, obviously, Cloud9 has Perks coming in. That's going to be so fun to watch how those two guys kind of play together, how aggressive, how insane they're able to go, because they're two just absolute psychopaths who play so aggressive. That's going to be nasty. I do have some questions how Fudge is going to work in the top lane, but that jungle support synergy is already there with him and Vulcan. Obviously, they worked really well together last year. And again, Perks coming in is a huge acquisition. He's going to be able to, help Blabber continue to learn, grow, and get better at the game, help him out. And that's going to be awesome for Blabber. That's an easy S tier for me. I think he's going to be one of the best junglers in the league again this year. He's going to be fun to watch, and I'm really hyped up for him. Next up, we have Dardak. He's coming off a weird year. Obviously, started out the year with TSM, and TSM performed decently, but Dardak did not look great. He looked like the clear weakness for the team. Then he heads to Dignitas, and, people kind of just forget about him because, yeah, he looked okay on Dignitas sometimes, but didn't really look that great. But Dignitas didn't really look that great. People don't really even watch Dignitas games that much. People don't really even care what happens with Dignitas when you're one of the worst teams in the league. People just kind of forgot about Dardak. He's a little bit off the radar, but Dignitas is bringing him back. He is a guy who used to be super talented, used to be super hyped up, used to be super toxic. There was all this drama and controversy around him, but now nobody really cares about him anymore. We're not hearing as much drama and controversy, but we are still hearing some things. He's still not really the best teammate in the world, doesn't really work the best in a team environment from what I've heard, and he's not really an insane talent anymore. So he's just kind of in this like weird spot. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Dardak's last year in the league unless he really shows out. But especially when he was on TSM last year playing in big games with a good team around him, I thought he was really disappointing. I thought he was really lackluster. He is a low C tier for me right now. I used to be a big Dardak fan. I wish TSM would have picked him up sooner, like maybe in the middle of his prime. TSM obviously got him towards the end of his career. Now Dignitas is getting really the end of his career. Dignitas is going to be a rough roster. They're very young. Good luck to Dardak and all of Dignitas, but again, it's a thing when you're on a worse team. Like already, I don't think Dardak is that good anymore, but when you're on a worse team, it's going to make you look worse as well. He has really young solo laners in Fate God and Soligo. I think they're going to be towards the bottom of the league in terms of mid lane and top lane talent as well, which doesn't ever fare well for your jungler. So good luck. He's an easy C tier for me. It'd even be low C tier. I don't know. I would consider F tier, but I feel like that'd be a little bit too disrespectful. But yeah, Dardak's a C tier for me. Next up, we have Svenskeren. This is a guy who's had a weird, couple of years. Obviously, when he was on Cloud9, he was an MVP caliber jungler. When he was on TSM, he's one of the best junglers in the region. Really, really hype player, even around the world. And then this is another guy, since he's been to Evil Geniuses, he did okay, but we haven't really, been hearing as much about him. He hasn't really been as hyped up. Evil Geniuses hasn't been as big of an exciting team. They're not playing in these big games all the time. And Svenskeren's maybe taking a little bit of a step back. Maybe it's because he's not playing on good teams, as good as rosters anymore. Maybe it's a little harder to shine. But I do think Santorin is very good. He's very versatile. He's just a veteran with so much experience all over the world in huge games. He's so clutch. He can play really any style of meta. He can play with so many different teams and rosters and everything. He's a guy that I like. I think any team would be better off having Svenskeren in the jungle, but he hasn't really been that superstar anymore, at least in my eyes. To me, he's hard to rank. I'm going to put him in high B tier. I would consider maybe low A tier, but I want to see him perform a little bit more. I don't think he had that great of a 2020 with Evil Geniuses. Obviously, there was a lot of questions with the team. Jizuke was really up and down. That's another thing where mid-junk synergy and how well they're performing together is really important. So if Jizuke is not looking that great, it's kind of hard for your jungler to shine too much. But I think Svenskeren can do more. I hope he has a better 2021, but I'm tempering my expectations. He's a B tier for me. Next up, we have Santorin. Obviously, he is the other top tier jungler in North America. It's like you either think Blabber's the best or Santorin's the best. Santorin is a guy who, again, he's been around forever. TSM back in the day. He's bounced around to some other teams. He's pretty much been a winner everywhere he's went, and he found his way to FlyQuest last year and really just meshed insanely well with that team. He had probably the best year of his career. He looked really dominant in the jungle, and at times he looked like the best jungler in North America. He really was one of the only guys to consistently rival Blabber, and now he's going to Team Liquid. After making back-to-back finals with FlyQuest last year, he's headed to Team Liquid, and that roster looks absolutely stacked. It looks absolutely insane. He has Jensen and Alfari as his solo laner. He has Core JJ as his support. It's going to be so easy to jungle for that team, and I think Santorin is up for the task. I think he's going to be a significant upgrade over Broxah. I think he's going to have an amazing year. And to me, he's the best jungler in the LCS right now. Again, I think if you're on a bad team, it makes you look worse. If you're on a good team, it helps you look better. I think that bodes well for Santorin. I already think he's a beast. Plus, he's getting an upgrade, going from FlyQuest, who was a very good team last year, to this team, Liquid team, which is an amazing team. That's an easy S tier for me. Next up, we have Closer. He headed over to North America last year and started popping off. He's a guy that people are very excited about coming over from the Turkish League. He has a huge fan base. He's super popular. He makes amazing plays. He is a beast, super aggressive, huge playmaking jungler, and really helped turn Golden Guardians into this exciting team last year that really did shock and surprise a lot of people. Closer was able to carry a lot of games. He's also able to facilitate and help his teammates really well. Obviously helped FBI pop off a ton, had pretty good synergy with Diamante as well in that mid jungle, and now they're moving over to 100 Thieves, all of them together with Someday in the top lane. That's going to be a scary team. Obviously with Closer being able to now facilitate through a huge carry in the top lane and in the bot lane in FBI and Someday. Diamante's a facilitator as well. I can just see Diamante and Closer roaming all around the map together, making all kinds of plays. I'm really excited for Closer. I know a lot of people are as well. He's an A tier for me. I think 100 Thieves is going to be a fun team to watch this year. Next up, we have Xerxes coming over from the LEC. He is going to be the new Immortals jungler. This is a guy who at one time was one of the best junglers in the LEC, if not, some people maybe would have said the best. He's coming off not that great of a 2020. He's also headed to Immortals, who is not going to be a very good team. They have Revenge in the top lane, who I think might be the worst top laner in the league, and Insanity, who I'm a fan of Insanity. I think he could grow into a decent mid laner eventually, but I think he's going to be one of the weaker mid laners in the league as well. And again, Xerxes not coming off that great of a year. So even if you think Xerxes is better than he was in the LEC in the 2020 summer split, I think it's still going to be tough for him. I think he's going into a rough environment in Immortals, and he's going to have a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, coming over to North America, adjusting to the lifestyle, adjusting to the LCS, adjusting to a new team, new teammates, all of that stuff. I think Xerxes can be good. I think he's solid. I'm excited for him. He's a guy I'm glad to have over in North America. He's a young talent who, again, has shown signs of being an amazing talent, but he's still really good, even when he's not, his very best. He's a B tier for me. This is a guy who I hope has a good year. I hope he does well in the LCS. I want to see him succeed, but I think it's going to be tough. He might have a rough year in store for him. But next up, we got Jose Diodo, the man the Latin American jungler coming over from Rainbow 7, the Argentinian. So many international fans and LCS fans are really excited for this guy. We got to see him on the international stage at Worlds this year. He looked like an absolute beast. He got so many people excited about him. People have been hyped up for him from solo queue for a while now, and he's headed into a pretty good position in FlyQuest. That team looks exciting. Palafox, Diamond, they got Licorice, the superstar top laner. Jose Diodo, if you were going to, be a first-time player in the LCS, if you're going to be coming to North America for the first time, that's a pretty good situation to be in. You're walking into an amazing just team, roster, place to grow. And FlyQuest, I don't know what they're going to do in 2021 necessarily. I'm pretty hyped up for them, pretty excited. But man, the future is so bright for that team. 2022, 2023, FlyQuest could be one of the best teams in the league if all of these guys pan out, if all these guys work out. But Jose Diodo is a guy I'm super excited for. I have him very solidly as B tier coming into the LCS. And if he pops off, he could even make his way into A tier. I want to see it first. I don't want to give him too much credit before he's even done anything in LCS because yes, he did look good at Worlds. Yes, he's looked good like in his region before, but sometimes the major leagues are a different story. Sometimes people don't make that adjustment well. Again, you're coming to a new country, a new place, a new organization, teammates, all that stuff. We've seen people not work out before. So I am hyped for him, but I'm not going to go crazy yet. He's B tier for me. I think that's solid expectations. We'll see what he's able to do. Next up, we have Iconic, the new Golden Guardians jungler. He is coming from Maryville University. He is it's an insane collegiate program. They are very hyped up, especially as an amateur team. They always produce top tier talent. They're always one of the best amateur teams in the league. They've really done an amazing job in just pushing forward collegiate League of Legends, collegiate esports, all that stuff. And yeah, so Iconic has played in a lot of big games with them, but man, he is making a big jump from Amateur League to LCS. Also, again, he's on GGS, who their roster doesn't look amazing. I know a lot of people are hyped up for Niles, but we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be tough, and I don't know. A lot of people are kind of surprised by this pick. A lot of people were shocked that he's already getting an LCS starting spot. I got to put him in the F tier to start out. Again, we'll see how he goes. It's a big question mark for me, obviously, not even having seen him play in Academy or anything yet. Yeah, it's an awesome opportunity for him, but I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a rough year. Next up, we have Broxah. He had a not very good year with Team Liquid. Obviously, Team Liquid still did amazing. They had great record in the summer split. They went to Worlds. They went 3-3 groups, almost made it out of their groups, but a lot of people were throwing a lot of dirt on Broxah's name. A lot of people were saying he was the main reason why Team Liquid was not able to win the summer split, not able to get out of groups at Worlds, not able to perform. People were just saying he was AFK, he's a Graves one trick, blah blah. He was coming over from Fnatic as this super insane pickup, this superstar free agent signing. People thought he was going to be the guy to take Team Liquid to the next level, to give him this newfound aggression and turn them into this crazy team. That did not happen at all. It was a bad year for Broxah. So that's how you go from signing this big deal Team Liquid to being on CLG just a year later. CLG is an interesting team. They got Finn in the top lane, who's coming off not a great year as well, but they picked up Wild Turtle 80 carry. That's exciting. They got Poe Belter and Smoothie, two solid resident players in the mid lane and support. I think Broxah has a chance to bounce back, but again, this is another guy where I got to see it first. He needs to prove it to us that he is going to bounce back, because, man, he looked so rough in 2020, and that was playing on one of the best teams in the league. Now he's going to be playing on a middle to bottom tier team. I don't know. Maybe he shines on a lesser team, but maybe he just folds under the pressure. I love this guy. Awesome personality. Seems like an awesome dude, but he's got to be a C tier for me until he shows me otherwise. Finally, we have Spika, the main man in the jungle, returning for TSM. Honestly, he was the bright spot for TSM at Worlds. He came into the summer split, helped TSM make it to an LCS championship, obviously, which is awesome. It was exciting to see, coming off a split where he was replacing Dardak, where Dardak didn't look that great, TSM didn't look that great, and then Spika was really a huge upgrade in the jungle, starting off from that Kane game where he literally inted, seeing how much he was able to grow and develop over the course of the summer split into the playoffs, and then again, winning that championship for them, heading to Worlds, and TSM looking terrible, but Spika still looking pretty decent, being able to perform against other junglers around the world internationally. I think that is a great sign. He is a bright spot in North America right now, a promising young talent. And I think TSM is going to be a pretty good team. I think he has a lot of talent around him. I think Sword Art is going to be an awesome duo to help him kind of figure stuff out. I think Power of Evil is an absolute beast in the mid lane. He's going to be one of the best mid laners this year. So that's going to be another great guy for Spika to work with and learn under. And then he still has Bjergsen as his coach. He's in a great situation. I love his attitude. I love his mentality. and I think he's just a very, very skilled young talent. I think he is the future of jungle for the LCS. I have him easily as an A tier right now, and this is a guy who's on my radar to be making a move into the S tier in 2021, especially if TSM is able to have a good year with Sword Art. But there it is, guys. There it is, my LCS 2021 starting junglers tier list. This is how I think things are going to be going down in the 2021 season. But again, we don't know. I'm not basing this bet off anything in the past. I'm basing this on future projections, what I think is going to happen this year. And it could go any way. I don't think anyone would have guessed Broxah was going to have as terrible of years he was going to have, or that Santorin was going to look as much of a beast as he had. Anything can happen. So again, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Let me know what I got right. Let me know what I got wrong. Let me know your tier list. But don't go too crazy in the comments. You know, keep it civil, keep it, mature, all that stuff. We love to see it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Check me over at Twitch, twitch.tv/I_am_germ. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.